Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Interview MedMas version 1 and episode 1. Yeah, literally, this is the first video of like multiple. So this question today that we're going to be looking at is on the topic of background and motivation to study medicine. And the question is, why do you believe you have the ability to undertake the study and work involved in doing a medical degree? So, pause the video, think about it for a second, jot down a few ideas on a piece of paper, and then come back and I'll explain how I personally would answer this question, or the elements of responses that I think are important. Okay, so the way I would actually structure this answer for this question is in the following way, because obviously the question is helping the interviewer make sure that you as the interviewee knows that a medical degree is hard, a medical degree is tough and is challenging, and they want you to be able to identify what is challenging, not only by doing medical school, but also by being a doctor itself, because being a doctor itself is also very difficult. So the way I would start off this answer, is by talking about all of the different things that I think I've identified personally as being difficult things by being a doctor. So for example, I've observed that being a doctor is stressful for whatever reasons I've observed. You know, you always have a lot to do. You are taking care of an actual life. You are always kind of stressed. Relatives can also put pressure on you, stuff like that. You have a lot of things to do and a lot on your plate. Also, another thing is that you constantly, as a doctor, have a lot to do. You have a lot of patients to take care of, have a lot of things to remember. You're constantly relearning things and making sure that you stay up to standards for all of these things. And then another thing that I've identified as well, and there's many, many more of like what being a doctor is that you're always criticized. You always have a person, well, most of your career, you're always going to have somebody above you that knows more than you do and will criticize your way of doing things and will tell you that what you're doing is not good, that you should like improve in this way and this way. It feels like, again, you're constantly learning. Another thing that I can think about, for example, is it's a very, very busy job. It's very difficult to not bring your job back home. So how do you manage these things? So I would start by talking about all of the different things that make a medical related career difficult. And then I would continue by saying, what are the things that you need personally to tackle these difficulties? So for example, to tackle these difficulties, you need to potentially have the ability to learn things quickly. And then I would move on to say, why do I think that I have this ability? And then I would use my own examples from my own life and whatever I have done to prove that I think at my stage right now, I have the ability to learn things relatively quickly. Then I think another thing that you need to be able to be good at to relieve yourself from all of the pressures of becoming a doctor is that you need to be willing to listen. So when you're being criticized, you need to be willing to listen and take on board what is good criticism and what you think is maybe not as relevant. And why do I think that I have this ability? Okay. Another thing is to be able to ask for help. Being a medical student, being a doctor is very, very challenging. There are a lot of things that are difficult. It's a very, very rewarding career, but it's quite difficult. So you need to be willing to identify your own limitations and be willing to ask for help when you think that you need it. You cannot pour out of an empty cup. You can't help patients if you yourself are not feeling well. So how do I think that I am willing to ask for help when I've identified that I need that help? And then the last thing is you need to have a way to be able to unwind things that are going outside your medical related life and that make you happy as well. You know, your life is not only medicine. So these are the 4 different things that I have identified that could help tackle the difficulties and pressures of being a doctor. And then once I've identified the things that I can do to tackle the challenges, I then talk about why these things are important to be able to have, and then why do I in my personal life have examples where I've demonstrated that I have these abilities. So I hope that was clear. That's the one way I would answer this question. How will you answer this question? Did you find this answer useful? And if you did, please leave a comment down below. If you have other things that you think were important to mention in this question, another approach to answering this question, please leave it down in the comments below. Send me a DM, something like that, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. If you did enjoy this video, again, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share this video with other people that could benefit from it as well. I'll leave down below all of the different links where I find the questions And yeah, I'll see you guys again tomorrow.